Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And it's Tuesday. Are we in the third week? Let me have a little look at the calendar. The third week. Wow. It's been so much fun. It has been so much fun. I'm just loving every single bit of it. When me and Margaret were planning this, it was just, oh, what can we do? And just the prompts and everything that we came up with is, it was just so exciting. And the response that we've had is just phenomenal. It's just absolutely amazing and matches how excited we was when we was discussing and planning everything. So thank you everybody so much. I've loved it. I've absolutely loved it. So today, where are we today? We are on day 15, which is M. And don't forget, if you want to join in, you can get these on my Kofi site. It's linked in the description. So M, we have a prompt list. And we decided to put on the prompt list a mixture of things that would be fun. So today for M, we have masterboard, mixed media, memory keeping and mitre. And you guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm not going to be doing masterboard. Memory keeping, I love memory keeping. I love watching memory keeping, like Heidi Swap, Ali Edwards. I love watching memory keeping, but I don't tend to do it. I love the products as well, but I don't tend to use them for memory keeping. So I'm not going to do memory keeping. And mitering is just where you know, when I do the hinges and I just take the ends off at an angle. That's what mitering is. So I'm going to be doing mixed media. And I'm going to be going through a little bit of what mixed media means. Oh, sorry about the bang. What mixed media means to me. So I have taken a couple of snippets of things that I've got round my craft studio to do with mixed media, because I do consider myself a mixed media artist, purely for the reason that I use lots of different mediums. I use lots of different paints, acrylics, gouache, watercolour, oils. I also use inks, and I use stains and pastes and different kinds of glues and stuff like that, embossing, different kinds of papers. So I am a paper crafter as well, which is, you know, basically junk journaling is paper crafting. So I am a paper crafter as well, but because I grew up as an artist, so I went to college and I studied art and design and graphics design, and so I am kind of an artist. I do paint things as well. So there's loads of things on my Instagram if you want to go back a few years. But then I found the love of junk journaling, and it was just, I started off as an art journaler. That's how I started. That's not how I started, but a few years ago I started back on YouTube as an art journaler and was doing art journaling and stuff like that. And then I found junk journaling. I was like, oh, old and vintage and grunge. I do think a lot of my grunge does come from my love for art journaling. So I have a few bits here with me of my mixed media work. I'm also going to insert a clip here of my mixed media board that I've got hanging up. It's my little pin board I've got hanging up in my craft room. So I'll insert that now. And in my studio, I also have different things around me, because my art does depend on what kind of mood I'm in. So if I'm in a paper crafting mood, obviously I'm going to paper craft. If I'm in I want to get messy and just have a play and not even think about it mood, I'll probably art journal. So I do have an art journal trolley. Yep. Because everything around me is junk journaling, like my washi tapes, my stamps and my embossing powders and my ink pads and my distress stains and stuff like that. It's all, and the paper, it's all junk journaling around me at the minute. So I kind of figured when I'm in the mood to do art journaling, I can't have everything around me. Otherwise, my little studio is going to be looking like New York and it's just going to be skyscrapers everywhere. So I've got one of those little 3-wheel trolleys and it's ready done. I know, I love it. And I've just filled it with everything that I use when I junk journal. So I did take a little video of that as well. So I will insert that here. Check me out with the prepping. The prepping of the video with inserting clips and things like that. Woohoo! I'm a pro now. I'm not really. So I have this little file container and inside it I have lots and lots of files. So I think it's like one of those things that you put your addresses in and stuff like that. And this is how long it's been since I have used it. They're all bowed, but I did start. So here is a few of my junk journaling mixed media art journaling mixed media. I won't go into depth with them, but there are videos on these. So if you wanted to go back, I think it's in the 100 days project. There's not 100 days. I couldn't last. But I love them. All different types of mediums being used on them. You can actually see my growth because I was doing it every day. You can see my growth through, we're going backwards by the way, my growth through the days. I mean, look at that. See, this is where I think my love for texture and grunge comes from, is definitely in my art journaling, 100%. Some of them are more simple than the others. Some of them have got collage on them. Some of them have got 3D things on them. Some of them have got stitching around them. Some of them have got faux stitching around them. And it's just, some of them got alcohol lift things on them. And yeah, it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. But don't worry, I'm not confusing art journaling with mixed media, because art journaling is its own little niche. So this is a little, I'm pretty sure it's 6x6, a little 6x6. Is it 6x6? It's supposed to be 6x6. It's 5.5 by 5.5. So it's just a little journal, quite thick, that I got from Hobbycraft. It was on sale. And this is how I evolved from the 100-day project. And this is my little art journal pad. And this is kind of where I was evolving into junk journaling. And then we have this little cutie right here. So you can see there's so many mediums on here. There's ephemera, there's paints, there's collaging, there's crackle paste. There's just so many things that you can use as well. So another thing that I like to do with mixed media is I like to play with receipt rolls. And I do have a couple of videos on me playing with these, but this is such a cool medium to use. And this one is just one that I stamped and just look, and ripped up, used as collage. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. So we are going to have, I'm just going to roll this back up. So here are some bits and pieces. I'm sorry if it's dark here today. It's really grey and rainy, and where I'm sitting, oh, it's not too bad. It's because I'm sitting sort of like eye level to my camera. The camera looks really grey, but it's not bad. So these are some of the collage papers, not collage papers, just decorative papers, I guess, that I like to use in mixed media. So here, this is just a splash up just of some distress inks that I use. I put some paste on it and coloured over it with, I'm going to tell you now, you're going to get all my secrets now. My favourite paint in the world when I'm art journaling or even just making things like this is golden quinacridone nickel azo gold. I love this stuff. It's a fluid acrylic. It's transparent. It makes the most beautiful colour. This is basically, I mean, look at this. It just makes stuff look so vintage. It is beautiful. I love it. It's my favourite, my absolute favourite. So these are a few bits and pieces that I just slathered on. Another bit that I will use. I just slathered on some paints, made some mark making. I love this, ripped up and used. This is watered down. I have a little spray bottle here with some of the Azo Gold and a bit of water in, and that's what it comes out like. And then I did some more mark making, and this is literally just one of Tim Holtz's, where are you, this is the one with the sander on, but it's one of the mini ones with a foam dot on top. Here it is, this. And I just literally dunked it in some paint, and then I just went da 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 da. And then look at these. Look at the effects of those. And I would just, I mean, look at the texture on those. It's amazing. And then this was just with some water and whatever was left on the sponge. And then I did some line marking, because again, ripped up and used as backgrounds. There's just some plain paper. It's just so cool. It's literally just so cool. So I also have, let me put these somewhere. I also have two pieces that I was working on, and they need to go in my art journal. And this is one of them. This is just on a piece of music paper. No, it's not. It's on book paper. So I took a book apart and I noticed that there was about 6 signatures in it. So I carefully cut away the signatures, and now I've got 6 signatures that I can just art journal in. So I just literally gessoed over the top of it, which gave it a barrier and allowed you to put lots of different mediums, because obviously if you go on with sprays and paints and glue, the paper's just gonna get ruined. So gesso just kind of protects the page. It's like a primer, if you like. And yeah, I just came up with this little page, which I kind of like. It's very grungy. It's got lots and lots of texture on it. And then I made this one. Look at that. This one's going on my pinboard because there's a space and I love it. There's some stamping in the background. There's some distress sprays. There's some texture paste as well. Some painting on there and some watercolours. I also use my Stduio all pencil and I just love it. It's just so cool. It's so, so cool. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do quite a few things today. We're going to play with some receipt rolls. I'm also going to do some grid painting, which is perfect for just playing. This is one of the things that I love about a mixed media is don't get in your head. Literally, and it's the same with clusters. Don't get in your head. Just have fun. Like Tim Holtz says, it's only paper. It's only paper. And if you rip it up and use parts of it in your clusters or your collage, it doesn't matter, because that little bit of it is going to be awesome. So yeah, we're going to do some grid painting. We're also probably going to make something like this as well, with some stamping and lots of different textures. And I just kind of want to give you an idea and maybe inspire you to venture out of junk journaling and sort of like realize that you can bring the two together. You can use art journaling, mixed media in with your junk journaling as well. A lot of artists out there do that. They do. I mean, you're already still doing it because you're using your texture paste and your paints and your glues and your papers. That's mixed media. So you're already still doing it. So let's get on with the first part of the video. Right, so when I'm playing with grid painting, which I then in turn use in my clusters or in my junk journals and stuff like that as just a textured kind of background, I like to use watercolour paper. Now, you can get this one by De La Rowley. I do like using this because it's a really good, nice textured paper. But there is also textured watercolour paper out there that is hot press and cold press. And the difference between those is hot press is smooth, cold press has a surface. So that's the difference. Other than that, they're very similar to normal paper. They've got their gram weightage and stuff like that. So I have taken a washi tape that I don't use very often and quite low tack. You don't want one that you're going to rip back and it's going to take up the paper. So I'm just going to burnish it down, and these squares are about 2 inches by 3 inches roughly. They don't have to be 2 inches by 3 inches. You can literally do them however big you want. You don't even have to lay down the masking tape. You can literally just draw a square and just stay in the border. I like doing the masking tape because I will, very similar to how I did the stamped labels, I will mark all over the page, stamp all over the page, and then whatever I'm left with after the tape they're the bits that I will cut out and I will use. So to get started, first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Stduio All pencil in black, which is a watercolor pencil, my favorite. I buy them by the box, like of 20, because I go through them. They're just amazing. And I am not even going to think about it. I'm going to hold the pencil not even halfway down, just so it's more fluid. And I'm literally just going to go. And I'm just going all around the page, making marks, just like that. And that's all I'm going to do. That is literally all I'm going to do. Now, remember, this pencil is water soluble. So anything else you put on this now, that will activate. Right, so before we get started painting, I just want to explain to you a few things about the mediums. So I've already shown you the fluid acrylic. There is also acrylic ink, which I love to use. And there is all types of acrylics. There's heavy bodied, there's impasto, there's normal acrylic. You can change the consistency of these things. So I've got some titanium buff, and this is heavy bodied acrylic. So it's thick acrylic. But if you want to loosen it up a bit, yes, you can add water. 100% to loosen it up, you can add water. But the water is going to dilute the colour. So there's a couple of things on the market that you can use for this, and you probably already know this, but a gloss medium. So it's a glaze medium. You can add this to your paint, and one, it kind of gives it a transparency, but it also gives it a flow. So it's just an easier flow. Or Finnabar does one as well. So this does exactly the same thing. Right, so I want to use a little bit of the titanium buff. I'm just going to move my pad out of the way because I don't want to make a mess. So I'm just taking... I'm just going to put it, we'll put it in one of the little ones. I'm just squeezing out a teeny weeny bit. Just a teeny weeny bit. And for this one, I'm going to use just a cheap paintbrush. I've got many paintbrushes. Some are expensive, some are mediocre, and some are cheap. And for things like this, I just use a cheap paintbrush, you know, the ones that you get at the pound shop or the dollar store. So I'm just pouring some of the fluid medium in it, and I'm just going to mix it around. And as you can see, it's automatically loosened that up. Oh, stop it from tapping. And like I said, you don't need this. You can use water if you want to. It's absolutely fine. And the only reason that I use the heavy bodied acrylic is because I wanted to use the colour titanium buff, and I haven't got it in any other acrylic. So if I had just a normal acrylic in titanium buff, I would have used that. So that's why I'm doing it. So I thought, well, I'm doing it, so I might as well show you that I'm doing it and how I do it. So doesn't matter what you've got. Instead of going out and buying just, you know, a normal tube of titanium buff, I've made the one I wanted. Right, so I'm just gonna pick up some paint, and then I'm just gonna make something. Yeah, these ones on the end, they're a little bit smaller, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just what I could fit on what I had. So I'm not thinking about it. And look at that, straight away, look at that. Because these are water reactive. I mean, it's just, I just love it. So I'm just literally just making marks. And you can even, if you want to, as well. And I'm trying not to do the same in every box. So I'm just going to leave that like that. I'm going to let it dry. I'm just going to take up some of that paint. Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, already it just looks... And see what I'm doing? I'm thinking too much. I'm getting too much in my own head. That's just paint. Just paint, and then what you come up with, it will be amazing. Right. So now I'm put that aside to dry, and now we're going to play with some receipt rolls. Now there is a few things that you need to know about. I'm just going to get rid of the mucky part. And these are thermal. So they're 4 thermal printers, which means that if you heat them up, let me take a little piece off and I will show you. So if you heat them up, they will turn black. See? And if I held it on these white places even longer, it would all turn black, because it's thermal. So they're for thermal printers that heat up the image onto, there's no ink or nothing. But that, I mean, that is still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool. And then what you could do with that is you could get your palette and this Urazo Gold, because it's just amazing. And I'm just going to put a little drop of it in there. Don't waste any time, don't waste any. I'm going to put some water. I mean, already look at that. It's beautiful. And a little bit goes a long way, because it is fluid. You do not need a lot. So I'm just going to go over the top with some different, some watered down, some non-watered down, some darker bits, and some lighter bits. And then I'm just going to let that dry. I'm not going to heat it up again. Just going to leave it and let it dry. And you've got a really cool piece of, I mean, it could be a piece of old vintage film that's been destroyed when it's been taken out of the camera. Just rip it up and use parts of it. It's so cool. It's so cool. But there is a way that I found out when I was experimenting, I think about 2 years ago now, I think the video is, might be a year, 18 months, something like that. Year and a half, I can't remember. Just name all the months, Tone. So I realised that if you used collage medium first, or even after, it stays white. So that was really cool. This stuff is really, really cool to play with, to experiment with. So I'm just going to get a bit of the low tack washi tape that I've got, and then stick it to my mat. And I'm going to put the rolled part on the edge of my mat, just like that. And I might just put just something, I just want to keep it, I want to keep it as flat as I can, because I want to stamp on it. That's it. It already. I love it already. Right, I am going to use archive, and I might use some stays on too. So I'm going very neutral today is what I'm doing. So I'm going to get out my archive and I'm going to do a few labels, because, well, we all know I love a label. And I'm going to put them in different places. All up and down. It's lucky we're using the glass mat. Just like that. Got a few Tim Holtz stamp sets out. I'm using Documented, and I'm going to be using this big one, but I'm not going to be using all of it. So I just want to be using part of it. So again, I'm just going to stamp in parts. At all different angles. Let's do a number. I'm mucky already. Perfect. And then I think I've got On the Farm, and I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to do this one in the grey. So I only want the top of it again. So I'm just using this one. And then I'm just gonna stamp over the labels and everything. I'm not bothered. I want it in the background. I mean, look at that. It's just so cool. It's just so cool. And then some there as well. I like it. And I think I'm going to do the same with this ledger stamp as well. But I'm not going to use a block for this one. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to take the vintage photo archival and I'm going to bend the stamp and dip the stamp in. And then I'm just going to, so we get sections like that. I mean, look how cool that looks. Let's just do another bit just there, and then another bit across there. I mean, already just look at this little bit of tape. It looks so cool. And then we want the, get on the stamp pad view, we want the fillers. So for the fillers, obviously I'm gonna get a bug. Should I use, I think I'm gonna use this one. And then this one, I'm going to do in the black soot. Oh, look at that. And I'm not bothered that some of it is backwards and some of it is upside down. I really don't care. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of a wing off there as well. It's just so cool. It's so cool. It's so much fun. I'm going to get field notes because we need my little received stamp because I love it. And just, we're basically making another version of Tim Holtz's tissue paper. That's basically what we're doing, but we're using receipt rolls as another medium. Right, so I'm going to go for another piece of vintage photo and I'm going to put in another number, and you could always put it in the label as well. I think we'll do with that one. What else have we got on here that's a little filler? Let's do filed. Remember, I've just lost my filed stamp. It doesn't matter how close the things are because you're going to rip bits of this up and use little bits of it. So, right, so I've got my eccentric and I'm going to do the finger. And I'm going to put him here. Because look at that. It's just so cool. And then I'm going to put one down here as well. You probably can't see it. I might be off screen. But I will show you it when I'm done. So cool. And then I'm just going to do a little part of it just coming in here. Like that. Oh, I love it. I love doing things like this. Right. What's the gaps we've got now? We haven't really got any gaps, have we? I bet I can find one. Right, let's do another vintage photo because there is a gap here. And I reckon, oh, you know what I need? Curator! My Curator stamp set. Yes, I do, because I need the 346. And, do you know what? I might even put the butcher on here as well. Because why not? You don't get used a lot because you're a butcher. Let's find some space. And now the last one. And I think that will do. Even though I do kind of want something over that ledger. I'm going to put the big 5. I'm going to put it a bit coming off. Oh, yes. Right, let's put these ink pads away, and I'm just going to have a quick wipe down and then we'll have a look and see what we've got. This is what we made with the till receipt. And you don't have to use till receipt. You can literally buy a roll of paper and do it with that, or stick some pieces of paper together. I love the texture of this stuff. It's so thin and I just love it. I love the way it stamps. I mean, how cool is that? Right, so I'm gonna cut it. I normally keep it on the roll, but for the purposes of the video, I'm going to chop it off. It's so cool. I love it. I love it. Right, now, woo, let's get back our pad because the paint should be dry. And now we're going to do a bit of a collage. So, first off, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip some off. I'm just going to rip some off. And I want to use just different parts, and I'm only sticking them on with glue stick. So let me get, where's my piece of scrap? There it is. Just gonna stick that on there. Stick that down there. There we go. Now let's rip off another piece. And this time we could just go down this way. I kind of want the finger in this one. So I'm going to put this one right on the edge. And then let's just stick this one on the smaller one. Let's take off half the butterfly, I think, or the moth. And I'm going to take off a little bit of the ledger. And glue, glue, glue. Put this down the bottom like that. I mean, already it just looks so cool. And we need one more bit for in here. I think I'm just going to use this bit. And just put that there. Right, so now what I want to do is I want to bring in some colour, and I'm going to do some more collaging, and I'm going to use this music paper and just rip it into strips. And again, just want teeny weeny little bits. And I'm just sticking it down. Doesn't even have to have any of the music on it. We could just put this piece on here. That bit there. Then let's rip this bit in half. Just like that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to get my weathered wood distress spray, and I'm just going to hold it quite high up and just some lower down if you really want impact. Just like that. And then smoosh it with some water and let that dry. Take up some of the distress. And remember, don't heat it because yeah, the paper it'll go black. But can you see how the distress is resisting on the paper because we use that medium? It's so cool. So I'm just dabbing it off like that. Right, so now that's dry, I want to come in with some white and get some white back. So I've got some Dina Wakley white gesso. And I've just got, again, another cheap brush. I'm just going to put some in the lid. And then what I want to do is I just want to go down one side like that. And then maybe straight across the middle like that. Bit of texture with some stippling. Now remember, because distress is water reactive, it will take on the colour of the distress. So now what I also want to do is I want to take a little bit of my gesso, put it on my glass mat, water it down, and then for this I want a long thin brush, kind of like this, and then we're just gonna mix it up, make sure it's real watery, and then we're just gonna pick loads up and splatter. Now the brush all depends on how big your splats will be. So the smaller the brush, the smaller the splats. There you go. So I did some more line work with the Azo Gold, and then I decided, do you know what? I want the kind of negative effect. It needed some dark colours on it. So I got my heat tool and I went over the receipts, and look, can you see what it did with the grey stays on? It just looks so cool. Look at the effect that you get. I only did little parts of it, but it's just so cool. So now we're going to take off the washi tape and see what we're left with. Oh, this one went on first, so let's take this one off. So we're down to the last couple of pieces, and I'm loving what I'm seeing already. In fact, this piece of washi tape that just randomly got left here, I'm going to use, and I might do that with all of them. There and that, go there. And I'm not bothered. Some of it where the paper underneath has got a bit wet, it's pulled it up. But look at those little grids. How cool are they for underneath textures and stuff like that? Ah, I just love them. They're so cool. Right, so that's a first mixed media project. And how much did we use on that? I mean, we could even go in and use some paste on it if we wanted to. It's about the only thing we didn't use. So now I'm going to take another sheet and I'm going to cut some tags, because we're going to make a mixed media tag. I've got a few different items here. I've got 2 tags, I've got 2 panels, and excuse me, maybe a belly band or a strip or something. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to play with our tag. Right, so I've made myself some, this is Matte Collage Medium by Tim Holtz, and I vintaged it up with a little bit of Vintage Photo Re-Inker and a little bit of Scorched Timber, because I didn't want it too orange. So now I've also got some little pieces here that I have stamped onto tissue paper. So I'm just gonna take off the straight edges, because I don't like straight edges. And then I'm going to put on some of the Collage Medium. Stick down the tissue. I mean, already that just looks so cool. And then I've also got one with a grid on it here as well. So I think I might use that. I just want to take this edge off. And then let's just kind of line that up. Oh, let's go over a little bit. Line that up there. Right, so now I've got a number stencil from Tim Holtz, and I've got some of my Cosmic Shimmer Grit Paste because I like it. I used it yesterday and it's like butter. And I'm just going to go round the edge. I'm not going to take up all of it. So as I'm scraping, I'm missing parts. And lift up. Ta-da! And then don't forget to put your stencil in some water. I'm just going to scoop down the edges like that. Take off the paste on the mat. Scrape it back in the pot. Because I might want to use another stencil. Got this stencil I got from Hobbycraft. It's all about travel. I don't know what company it's from, but I love it. And I think I'm going to use some of this on here. I think I might put the word travel down here. And then let's turn it sideways. Like that. Oh, look at that. It's so cool. I don't think we need any more numbers. So I think we'll leave that as that. So it's all dry and we've got our little spray box out because I'm having so much fun, but I'm getting so mucky. So I think we're going to use frayed burlap. Let's go. And just gonna spray it and then get my water and just move it around like that. Then I think I'm going to get a little bit of Vintage Photo and just put in places, and a little bit of weathered wood. Oh yes, look at that. It just looks delicious. Look at all that grunginess. Look at that. Ah, look at the grunge. It's all dry. Well, not on the back. So let's just wipe that down. Give it a bit of a roll. That's better. Oh, I'm so mucky. Look at my mucky fingers. I'm loving it. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take Dina Wakley's white gesso, and I'm going to get my brayer and a little spatula, and I'm just going to take a bit, smear it across my mat. Take my brayer and then just pick some up. And then I just want to lightly highlight the stenciling that we did. Just like that. Look at that. It's so cool. And then I'm going to take the rest of it on my spatula and I'm just going to smoosh around the edges. Just like that. It's so cool. And messy, but I love messy play. And then I'm just gonna do some lines down the middle as well. And you can always take your cheap texturized brush and on a dry brush and then just also put texture, pick up all what you've got left and do some texture. Let's get a little bit more. Around the edges as well. You don't have to do this on a tag. You can do this on a panel. You can do this on a page in your journal. And then let's just going to take the brush and lightly brush over. And then look at that. How cool is that? So I have done some stitching, just some random stitching, and I have got 2 of the little panels that we made from the grids, and we're going to use one of these on here. But first we're going to get one of the other panels that we made. Let's put these 2 aside. One of the other panels that we made when we was making the panel for the tag, and we're just going to do a bit of distressing to it. 2 favourite colours, Vintage Photo and Frayed Burlap in the oxides, and I'm just going to smoosh. And I'm going to spray some bit of water on there, bit of water down here, and I'm just going to cover the panel that we've got like that. I love it already. And then I'm going to take the other panels as well because we don't want to waste it. So let's do the belly band. Perfect. Woo. And then I'm going to give these a dry. And then we'll do the next step. Just look at those. They're delicious as they are. But we're going to go in now with not as much, but a little smidge of the Vintage Photo. And just get the bits that we missed. Lovely. And then I'm just going to soak it all up like that. Give this a dry and then the magic happens. So they're dry. Now remember, they're dry. They're dry. No, but remember the distress is water reactive. So we're going to take, look, it's lucky this is now my craft room jumper. Look at the state of it. But I leave it in here when I'm finished and I put it on when I'm playing. So I'm going to spray in my hand and I'm splattering onto what we've already done. Let's do some on the bookmark as well, just splatter all over, and you can already see where it's reacting. So we're just going to leave it for a little bit, and you can see where it's, can you see where, oh, it's just, can you see it? Can you see it? It's amazing. Right, so I've got some dry, clean kitchen roll. And now, I think we've left it long enough. Now I'm just going to mop up the water. So I'm just pressing down. I'm not rubbing, I'm just pressing. Do you want to see the results? Look at that. Oh, I mean, look. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Ah, it's just so stunning. And look at that. And this was just the mop up. So now I'm going to dry it again. Now we've got all our pieces together, we're going to assemble. Right, so I don't know which one I want to use. I might use... No, I think I'm going to use this one. So first off, I am going to distress, but I don't want to do it in oxide. So I'm getting just my normal distress, and I'm just going around the edges of our little grid. And then, where's my little scissors? Just grinding it up, and I think I'm going to do this bit first as well, even though I don't know how much of it I'm going to use. I do like that bit of grunge up there. Right, so I think I'm going to rip this. And have one side of it ripped like that. And then... Right, so we've done a bit of grunge and distressing. Just need to finish this bit off. And then a bit of ink around the edge. And then, because this is quite dark, I'm going to go around this with the ground espresso. And I'm just going to, just in places, grunge at the edges. I'm being real careful around the stitching, because if you go too far, the stitching ends up coming off. So just lightly brushing like that. And then I'm going to get my ground espresso and just go around the edges. And the same with these. And then we've got the start. I think I'm going to make this a little bit smaller because I want to see the word travel. So then we can put this on here like this, and that, perfect. Look at that. Yes. Right, so what I want to do is I want to put a bit of cheesecloth behind here. So let's grab a bit. And I might even do some more stitching. Where's my glue? Here you are. So I'm going to put some glue. That's better. And then just stretch it out so then it's flat. I'm going to lay that down like that. And then glue this down like that. Hold it down and then pull off the stray bits. Perfect. And I think I'm just going to run a line of stitching just down here. So I've done some stitching and I've pulled a moth out. Tim Holtz's transparent moths. And I love these. And I just thought this would just go perfect. Just maybe there, just like that. But, oh, turn it around. I want to bring in some of the Azo Gold into this background. If I can find my lid. Right, so I'm just going to take a teeny little dot like that, because this stuff goes a long way. And then I'm going to get a little flicky brush. I've got my splatter brush somewhere. I don't know where, but this will do. So just going to pick some up and then just put some splatters on. And then I think I just want to just dribble some on. And I'm just lifting it and adding the water. And then just a little bit more. And then maybe a little bit round the bottom. And this is the whole point of mixed media. It's just layering and adding. Look at that, straight away. It's just so cool. Ah! But I might put a couple of splodges and then just do the same around the edge of this as well. Yes. Oh, the cotton soaked it up. Let's put a little bit more. Just dabbing it round. And then let's give that a dry. So now I'm going to get my glue. And I'm just doing what I always do and just putting it down the body. And then I'm going to hold it down because we're sticking the glue to a lot of different surfaces. We need to stick this down as well. Let's take out this bit of string. And put on quite a bit of glue. Definitely go over the stitching. And then place it. Might go a little bit down just past the word travel. And then hold that down. Just to add another piece of texture and another medium, you could just put in a couple of teeny attachers. And I'm not going to use it as, I'm not going to put like a reinforcer on it and use it as as a tag. I'm going to get some of my coffee dyed graph paper, glue around the back. Again, make sure you go over the stitching. Because that's, will keep it in place. Let me get my Fabri-Tac for this, because I love that little thin nozzle on my Barely Arts glue. Oh, but it just takes forever for the glue to come out. And that's perfect when you're working small, like with the snippets and stuff. But when you're doing something a bit larger, it's a nightmare. Right, so I'm just going to make sure I stick this on there like that. Let me just trim that off. And then while that's drying, I'm not going to cut it off properly. I'm just going to roughly trim it, and then we're going to do what we always do, and I move them. I move my snippets. I think, do you know what I think? I think we need to bring out the blue a bit. Too much. I might take the Azo Gold. Yes. You know what I need to do? Oh, I need to make some of these using this around the edge with the ground espresso. Struggled with that one, Tone. And then, like I said before, put on quite a bit of glue, because it's not just sticking to cardstock, it's sticking to lots of different mediums. Let's put that there. Go around with a bit of vintage photo. And put that there. That's it. Maybe. Here we go again. Lifting up. This needs to go under. Just a little bit. Like that. Yeah, because it brings the blue down. So it draws your eye down. I'm going over that little staple, but oh well. That one's on wonky. I think we need one at the top. So let's put this one up there. I'll just place this just there. Do we want to put this up there? Or have we got enough? I think we've got enough. Excuse me. Oh, but I don't know. Oh. Let's just dull it down a bit. See, and then we'll put that just under there like that. Oh, look at that. Right, and I'm going to trim it and then I'll be back. Ta-da! This is just a little example of what you can do with mixed media. How cool is that? It's so much fun. It's so much fun. I love it. And this would go perfect if I find my journal. I took the bit of string off the top because it was annoying me. So we've got this one. I've also found, look at all my journals. I've got my travel journal. I've got me other little journal that's got resin papers in and stuff. I mean, look at that. Look at that envelope I made out of resin paper. How cool is that? And then I've got a little folio that I've not finished. I've got that folio, that folio. I've got my popcorn bag journal, look. I've got so many. Got my little one sheet wonder journal, the one that I made at the beginning of this challenge. Then I've got my tag journal. Look at this, look. How have I never finished that? And then I've got this, my file folder journal. I just didn't fold them in half and I made a little journal out of them. Look at that. So many journals. See, I do make journals. I do make them. I just don't finish them. So what was we doing? Let's show how this goes in here. So it could go just there. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. Or because this is a pocket, it could just sit over here. I mean, it just works so well. Oh, that's not a pocket, is it? Nope, it won't go on that page. I mean, it could go on the back here. But to be honest, I like it here. I think that's just so cool. Or it could go, we've got another flap here, look. It could go on the flap like that. And that could be part of the flap. Or it could go in here. And that could be hiding it. See, it's just... Or it could go on here. Could go down here. Be a little tuck. It's just so cool. It's just up here as well. Could leave that hanging out the top. How cool would that be? Or even on the other side. No, not that way up. We've got another pocket here. It could go here. It could go all the way over here. So many places it could go. I absolutely love this journal. It's all made out of junk mail. It's amazing. There is a video on this if you want to see it as well. So yeah, it's such a cool journal. I love it so much. I always use it as reference when I make stuff. But we could just go in my journal that I made. I mean, it could be the first you know, or maybe make a couple and have another one here, and then you've got a little tab hanging out, because we know how I like to have tabs hanging out. Could go anywhere. Could go anywhere. Love it. Absolutely love it. A bit of mixed media is so much fun. It really is. And have a look through my playlists, because I have got so many mixed media videos and stuff, and it's so cool to integrate other things in with the junk journaling as well, because you can do this grid collaging and stuff with junk journal items that, you know, the ripped up, I did the music paper, that's junk, and it's not junk, but do you know what I mean, it's old, and I got it from a thrift store and stuff. So receipts, yeah, it's blank, but you normally throw your receipts away, didn't you? See? But I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so cool. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And don't forget to tag me on socials either. My socials are either in the description box or they're at the end of the video. And Margaret's back tomorrow with, I don't know what letter. I don't know what comes after M. Don't ask me this. I've just been mixed mediaing. My brain's N. My brain's all. Yeah. So Margaret's back tomorrow with N, and I will be back with P. And I think with P, I think we might start doing stuff in our little altered book. I think we might start decorating because P for pockets. Well, what can I say? So thank you everybody for being here. I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. I'll see you in my next video. Happy crafting and take care. Bye.